When I started playing D&D, I thought I had it all figured out, but it turns out I was so wrong, and honestly, I'm glad I was. Because the game I thought I was playing and the game I actually discovered, they weren't the same. One was about stats, rules, and telling my story, and the other was about people, messy choices, meaningful moments, and learning how to tell a story together. So if you're new to D&D, or even just finding your voice at the table, here are 5 things I wish I had known when I started playing. So maybe, just maybe, you can skip forward on a few of those hard lessons that I learned the long way. I'm Josh, the Creator Bard. Welcome back to the tavern, where we tell the best stories together. When I first started playing, I assumed everyone at the table wanted what I wanted, a deep, character-driven cinematic narrative with world building and intricate lore like Critical Role or Lord of the Rings. But I quickly realized something. Not everyone plays for the same reason. Some people are here for the epic battles. Some people are here to joke around and hang out with friends. Some people just want to roll the dice and watch what happens. And some people just want to smooch the homies. It's me. I just want to smooch the homies. And that's okay. D&D isn't one game. It's 100 different games being played all at the same time. And you don't have to change the way you want to play. You don't have to change who you are as a player. But if you take the time to understand what everyone else at the table wants, then you'll play with them, not just next to them. And that's much more fun. And once I figured that out, I realized something even bigger. This wasn't just a story I was watching, it was one I was helping create. Early on, I treated D&D like a show. I'd wait for the DM to guide us through the plot. I'd stay in character and try not to mess anything up. I thought that my job was to play my role and just watch the story unfold. But then I realized D&D isn't passive. I'm not just performing a pre-written script, I'm collaborating. The game is a collaborative storytelling game. Your character's choices, no matter how chaotic, uncertain, or impulsive, are the story. And more than that, more than just the fact that I was also a storyteller, I realized that the stories we tell at the table can actually mean something. I used to think that storytelling in games was just escapism, and for some people, that's absolutely what it is, and that's entirely valid. But sometimes these stories reflect us. They help us process things. They show us who we are and who we want to be. D&D can give you the space to explore something true, something messy, something that maybe only you and your friends around the table will ever really understand. It's so beautiful. Yeah, like he said, it is a powerful thing. So powerful that it makes the rules feel almost secondary until you realize that the rules, they're part of the magic too. Now, let me be clear.
Let me be clear.
Let me be clear.
Let me be clear. Let me be clear. Let me be clear.
You don't need to memorize the rulebook to enjoy D&D. But I wish I had known how much smoother everything becomes when you understand a few fundamentals. Things like what can you actually do on your turn, the difference between perception and investigation, how dark vision actually works, how to build a build effectively. These things don't just help the DM, although they make it much easier on your DM, but they help you. When you realize what your character can do, you start to feel more confident. You start making bolder choices, and you start playing instead of waiting for things to happen. The rules aren't there to limit you. They're there to support the story. And yes, we might have a conversation on what type of storytelling D&D actually supports versus other tabletop games, but that's for another video. The more you learn about the rules, the more free you can feel to do whatever you want, because you know what you can do. And that freedom sets you up for something even better. Not just knowing what to do, but knowing that whatever happens, it can still be awesome. Before that though, very quickly, if you are enjoying this content and want to keep seeing more like it, go ahead and give me some bardic inspiration by hitting the like button and consider subscribing so that you hear the trumpet every time the bard comes to the stage. Now, back to whatever happens. When I started playing D&D, I thought that success was the goal. Beat the monsters, solve the puzzles, win the fights. There's something to win D&D. I was even tempted at times to fudge a roll because I thought that doing things the best was the best outcome. But the truth is, my favorite memories at the table aren't when everything went right. They're when things went horribly and hilariously wrong. Times spells have misfired, the time we lost the NPC, the time someone critically failed a persuasion check and started a bar fight, the time when someone kept getting dropped from the sky by a rock, and the only thing that kept them alive was their periaptive wound closure. Yeah, Paulo, if you're watching this, I'm talking about you. What are you gonna do about it? D&D isn't about perfect outcomes, it's about chasing the most interesting story. And sometimes that means falling in style. I even made an entire video on this type of thing and using it as a plot structure in D&D because it's such an important aspect of how we play. I'll link that here somewhere. So don't be afraid to try something bold, even if it might not or probably won't work. Sometimes the best stories come from the worst ideas. And the more you let go of that pressure to be perfect, the more room you have for the one thing that actually matters. You don't need a special voice. You don't need a tragic backstory. You don't need to know everything or be the funniest person at the table. You just need to show up, be kind, pay attention, and care. The truth is, the real treasure in D&D isn't magical items or XP. It's the memories that you make, the inside jokes, the shared victories, the moments that matter, not because they're dramatic, but because you made them together. Because when you boil it down, D&D is just a collaborative hallucination where a group of mostly sane adults sit around a table, argue about imaginary laws of physics, pretend to be raccoon wizards and half-orc accountants, and emotionally bond with fictional characters they invented on a whim, guided by an all-powerful narrator god with a deep disdain for your happiness. I'm sorry, what? No, let's try that again. Because when you boil it down, D&D is just a bunch of friends who get together around a table, throw these little math rocks, and add some numbers to tell some stories together. And whatever those stories are, they don't have to mean anything to anybody else but you. And to me, that is beautiful. So yeah, not everyone wants the same thing, and that's okay. You're not just watching a story, you're helping create it. And knowing the basics helps you play better and worry less. The most interesting moments aren't always the victories, and D&D isn't about impressing anybody. It's about having fun together. If you can learn these 5 things, then you are already well on your way to becoming more than just a passive, show-up kind of player. You're becoming a storyteller. And if you're ready to lean into that even more, I have some more player tips on exactly how to tell stories together right here. So go ahead and click that video. Till next time, gotta roll.